Fake HOA fined me for hosting a stroke support group. The neighborhood didn't stay silent. What would you do if your kindness was punished by a power-hungry neighbor? In the quiet suburb of Willow Creek, Emily Carter's backyard became a battleground. Her crime? Hosting a stroke support group for survivors seeking solace. The punishment? A $500 fine from Karen Mitchell, the self-appointed queen of the Homeowners Association, who claimed the gatherings were unsanctioned and disruptive. Karen's smirk as she handed Emily the fine notice was a spark in a dry forest, igniting a firestorm that would consume her reign. Emily's support group wasn't just a meeting, it was a lifeline. Every Thursday, a dozen stroke survivors, from young fathers to elderly widows, gathered under her oak tree. They shared stories of relearning to walk, of rediscovering words, of fighting despair. Emily, a stroke survivor herself at 42, poured her heart into these evenings. She'd bake cookies, set out chairs, and listen as tears turned to laughter. The group was her purpose, her healing. But Karen saw it differently. To her, the soft chatter and occasional laughter were a violation of her pristine vision for Willow Creek. Armed with her HOA rulebook, she declared war. Karen's campaign began subtly. First, a letter citing noise complaints nobody else had heard. Then, a warning about unauthorized assemblies. Emily ignored them, believing kindness would prevail. But Karen escalated. One evening, as the group shared stories, Karen stormed into Emily's backyard, clipboard in hand, her voice sharp as a blade. "This ends now," she snapped, tearing down a hand-painted sign reading, "Stroke Survivors Unite." She tossed it into the dirt, claiming the group was lowering property values. The survivors froze, their safe space violated. Emily's hands trembled, but she stood firm. "These people need this," she said. Karen's response? A $500 fine, slapped on Emily's door the next morning. The neighborhood buzzed with whispers. Karen's rule was ironclad: fined others for minor infractions. A basketball hoop left up, a car parked an inch off-center. But this felt different. This was cruel. Emily, still recovering from her stroke, couldn't afford the fine. She posted about it in the neighborhood's private group chat, expecting sympathy but not action. She was wrong. The chat exploded. Neighbors, long silenced by Karen's tyranny, shared their own stories of her overreach. There was Mr. Lopez, fined for his daughter's lemonade stand. Mrs. Kim, cited for her unapproved rose garden. The stories piled up, each one fuel for a growing rebellion. Then came the twist, a new voice in the chat. Clara, a quiet retiree who rarely spoke up, revealed she'd been Karen's friend years ago. "She wasn't always like this," Clara wrote. "She changed after her husband left. She clings to control because she's afraid of losing more." Clara's words shifted the narrative. Karen wasn't just a villain, she was a woman broken by loss, wielding power to mask her pain. Some neighbors softened, urging empathy. Others, like Emily, saw it as no excuse. The group split. Forgive Karen or fight her. Emily chose to fight, not for revenge, but for justice. The showdown came at the next HOA meeting, held in the community center. Emily, clutching her fine notice, stood before 50 neighbors. Karen sat at the front, her arms crossed, confident in her authority. Emily's voice shook at first, but grew steady as she spoke. "This group saved me when I couldn't hold a pen. It saves others every week. Karen calls it a nuisance, but it's a necessity." She held up the fine, her eyes locking on Karen's. "This isn't about rules. It's about punishing hope." Murmurs rippled through the room. Mr. Lopez stood, sharing his story. Mrs. Kim followed. One by one, neighbors rose, their voices weaving a tapestry of defiance. Then Clara spoke, her voice soft but piercing. "Karen, I know you're hurting, but hurting others won't heal you." The room fell silent. Karen's face flushed, her composure cracking. She tried to interrupt, citing bylaws, but the crowd drowned her out with applause for Emily. A vote was called, an emergency motion to remove Karen as HOA president. Hands shot up, a sea of agreement. Karen's gavel fell limp. The neighbors had spoken. Karen's downfall was swift. Stripped of her title, she faced her own fines, dozens of them, issued illegally, now voided. The stroke support group resumed, now with more attendees, as neighbors joined to show solidarity. Karen retreated, her once commanding presence reduced to a shadow. Some said she moved away. Others claimed she stayed, too ashamed to show her face. Emily didn't care. Her backyard was alive again with laughter, stories, and healing. The victory wasn't just Emily's, it was Willow Creek's. The neighborhood learned that silence breeds tyrants, but unity dismantles them. Emily's group grew, a beacon for survivors and a reminder of what kindness can achieve. As for Karen, her story became a cautionary tale. Power built on fear crumbles when faced with courage. What do you think? Can someone like Karen change? Or is her fate deserved? Share your thoughts.